What's going on, everybody? Today we're continuing the Goldlewis matchup Bible, where I, alongside my sidekick Schwell, teach you how to beat every character with the one and only Goldlewis Dickinson. Let's get right into it. First, let's go over round start situations. So notably, Faust has a very good 2P, but you can actually JD over it. Unfortunately, this isn't a punish, but you can get your turn started. But this option is going to lose to 5k. Our alternate option to beat 5k on Wake Up is going to be 6p, and additionally, this is going to beat Faust 6p.
For the next section, we'll be going over the buttons that you will be seeing most in neutral against Faust. And it is critical that you know how to do raw 6A4, because for the most part, Faust will be hovering around this area of the screen, and he will be attempting to anti-air you with his very potent anti-airs. And speaking of anti-airs, the ones you're going to be seeing the most commonly are 5k and 6p. Both of these buttons are very potent at swatting Goldlewis away, but as in other matchups, we're going to do run up 6A4 to beat these buttons. When it comes to approaching Faust on the ground now, he has many tools. One of them being far slash, 2H, 5H, and 6H. These are all very large buttons, as you can see, but they all very commonly lose to a JD. Unique to Faust, he has a dive kick in his J2K that can hedge both aerial approaches and grounded approaches. It is a very common poke that they will use and is very hard to contest. Now, like Eno's dive, even on hit, after you do it, you can 2P and beat his immediate options to aggress against you. And you even still get your hard knockdown. And Faust's other options off J2K, if he just lets it rock, you can actually still punish him, which is a great situation for you. But sometimes they may realize that you're punishing them and go for a passive option in love. And your 2P will whiff, but you can block in time. But let's say they keep doing it because it's their only option, you can actually 684 to hard call this option out. Which, even if it trades, is still a major damage win. When fighting against Faust in neutral, you will find yourself in the common situation taking mid-range pokes on block. This is in the form of far slash 2H. Now, Faust is not very often going to use Scalpel in his block strings, but when he's in the mid-range like so, he's more often to throw it out. Now, in older patches, Goldlewis could 6P it, but he would get no reward. In this patch specifically with the buff to level 3 Gatling, if you get a counter hit 6P, you can combo into level 3 Gat, granting you a full screen knockdown. To round off neutral, we're going to talk about the long overhead V6H. You're going to find yourself blocking this pretty often as one of his longer normals, but after you block it, you can kind of just toss out a 684 and it will cover most of his options. When it comes to dealing with items in neutral against Faust, one of the most important things is to know your proper tennis buttons. And by tennis, yes, I mean playing ping pong with Faust and the bomb. One of our better buttons to play around the bomb with is our 5P. It reaches a lot of options and is sent at a really good angle where Faust cannot contest it. Another common situation you will find yourself in is Faust will be further away from you on the screen, he will throw meteors. More often than not, a Faust will go for a cross-up option. This is because it does a large amount of damage and it is a frame 1 cross-up. Now, there are two unique counterplays. One of them is obviously just block the cross-up, right? He is safe, but you blocked it, he didn't take damage. The other counterplay, if you have burst, you can actually gold burst him as he is teleporting, and now you have 100 meter against Faust, and he's more likely pushed to the corner. One of the final items we'll be talking about is the trumpet. This is a very important item to worry about, as it is one of our ways to use Faust's items against him. Now, what Faust will usually do is they will throw normals behind it and use mix to obtain the trumpet, and even if we punish them, the stampede will hit us and we will get nothing. Now, the way we'll be working around this is instead we will be throwing out our own preemptive normals, getting the trumpet, and working on our own Oki. When it comes to Faust pressure, he doesn't have many common good special enders for his strings, but there's one very important thing that you're going to have to know coming into this matchup is you are going to have to be FDing 2K. This is so you take away the option of 2k into command grab, which is very potent up close. This allows him to get set play going and a safe jump. If you were to FD it though, you'll be out of range of his command grab. When it comes to Faust pressure, you will quickly find out that he actually lacks good special enders, and when it actually comes to his pressure, it's a majority of lows. So when it comes to blocking, you just have to look for common enders. These common enders are like, for example, 2H, 5H, and 2D. And what's nice about these is Faust is usually going to throw an item, even on block, but he is by no means plus, and Goldlewis has a very large disjoint in 684. So when we are blocking these, we are going to be buffering 684 out of block stun. And we will be counter hitting him and playing around the item as such. Now, it is worth mentioning that Mix will catch you at these distances, but Fausts will tend to not go for Mix unless they have 50 meter. And if they are spaced out even at say far slash range, you will catch the Mix. That is a favorable trade. When considering Faust Oki, majority of the time there will be an item in play. Some of the unique items to look out for are hammer and ton weight, as Faust will go for a command grab with the hammer covering them. This is a very potent situation as it will set up a safe jump and a high-low mix. Now, we can avoid this situation by jumping out and blocking, but we will not get a punish and Faust will be perfectly safe. Unique to ton weight though, if he is to go for the command grab, we will obtain a meaty as he will get hit by the shockwave. Unique to 2k2d, Fausts tend to like to backdash after this situation to create space between himself and the opponent. This is so that he cannot get punished directly and he doesn't have to throw an item. But Goldlewis can just 684 and catch backdash. Now, to round off the pressure section, we'll be going over Faust's command grab. This is a unique command grab that actually the Afro state. This command grab is frame 5 and it actually extends your box upwards. So if backpack were to crouch, my 5k is actually able to hit the Afro. Now the Afro's gone, as you will see, my 5k is going right over him. So this sets up a situation where Faust can go for a high-low mix. And as with Eno, we are going to leverage our higher health and we are going to eat the low option. We're going to continue to stand block and eat the low option as it is not high reward and there's just going to be an item coming out. As if he were to block low and get hit by the higher option, Faust is going to get a lot more reward.
And finally, we're going to end this video on the bonus section as we have been in the previous videos. First, I want to say that Faust 2P is very scary. Schwell, go and throw that bad boy out. This thing covers so much space, but a lot of people don't know this, that on hit, this thing is actually just completely neutral. And so after you get hit, you can just press far slash and cover a ton of Faust options. Of course, if they go for the other 2P, you'll be hit, but let's say that Faust goes for a 2P into a far slash of his own. I got the counter hit, very pog. So in those situations where the Faust player is mashing 2P, just close your eyes and mash far slash and then confirm. The next bonus tip is going to be about Faust's PRC super. So the PRC super, if you guys didn't know, if I run forward and go for an option, Faust is actually going to be invincible for that immediate option, but it's only for a little bit. And Goldlewis has very, very active meaties, particularly in the form of 268. So if we go for that option, we actually just hard stuff it. And that's all we got. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you checking out this video. Hopefully you learned something. Comment down below who you want to see next, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.